So, my 75-year-old mother-in-law said something to me that floored me the other day. She said that she was finally starting to let go of her body issues. She's 75 and she's just now getting there. It got me thinking, why do we spend our entire lives hating our bodies? I was flabbergasted, truly. I mean, how much does it suck that she's hated her body her entire life? How much does it suck that I've hated my body my entire life? How much does it suck that you've hated your body your entire life? This is another one of those topics that are hard for me because I've struggled with my weight and my body image my entire life, and it's wrecked me. I'm not being dramatic when I say that either. I mean, how could it not wreck me? When your entire life you're told that you're not enough and you're called names, it leaves some pretty deep scars. So I have had 3 weight loss surgeries. That's not normal. It's not. It is really rare to go through even one of these surgeries, let alone 3. Less than 1% of people who have had a weight loss surgery go through as many revisions as I have. But I spent decades, my whole life, thinking that if I could just lose enough weight that I would finally be happy. I would finally be enough, that I'd finally be accepted and loved. Body image just isn't about the weight that we carry on the outside of our bodies. It's about the weight that we carry on the inside. The shame, the guilt, the voices in our heads telling us that we're never enough. There were a lot of things in my life that I didn't do because of my weight. I was either physically too big to actually do it, or I was waiting until I was smaller, right? I didn't do vacations. Hell, I don't even think I owned a bathing suit until I was in my 40s. I skipped concerts and other events. Even going to family events was just plain awful because I just knew that everyone was talking about my weight. I had a whole separate wardrobe of clothes for when I got smaller, right? I would shop and I would buy something and go, oh, someday I'll wear this. Someday this will fit me. So basically it was a whole wardrobe for a version of myself that never seemed to show up. I was always living in some unattainable future, right? And I was never enough in the moment. Never. And I know I'm not the only one. I know that this is a struggle for a lot of people. So many of us spend years waiting for the right body, thinking that it will change everything. But I'm here to tell you that it doesn't. It really doesn't. I was sexually abused as a child, and that trauma played a massive role in why I stayed overweight for so long. There's a lot of research out there that shows that childhood sexual abuse often leads to struggles with weight later in life. It's like subconsciously you think that if you keep yourself bigger, you're somehow safer, less noticeable, less vulnerable, less attractive. It's a way of protecting yourself from the world and from being hurt again. It took me a long time to realize that that is what I was doing. Also, let's not forget nasty little genetics play a significant role in determining a person's body weight and shape. Studies suggest that for many people, being predisposed to weight gain isn't just about poor eating habits or lack of exercise. It's literally in the DNA. Literally. Essentially, your genetic makeup influences how your body stores fat, how it processes food, your metabolism, and even how hungry you feel. It's not an excuse, but it is a reason. So, the first time I went under the knife for weight loss surgery, it was for something called a lap band. And that's where they take this band and they wrap it around your stomach to make a little pouch on the top, and then the rest of your stomach is down below. So you're supposed to get full faster because you fill up this little pouch, right? Boom, weight loss. Except not really. My stomach actually flipped inside out because of that thing. It literally flipped inside out. So they had to take it out and I was back to square one. After that first surgery failed, I didn't just feel like my body failed me. I felt I had failed myself. I felt a lot of guilt and a lot of shame. And it was like I was never going to win this battle with my body, but I was still desperate enough to try to go through it again. So a couple of years later, I went in for another lap band because I thought that the first one was a fluke, right? I figured I messed something up. Oh, I should also mention that I was a self-pay on both of these surgeries because they were not covered by my insurance, and it was about $15,000 a pop. So this time, the band embedded itself into my stomach. So they had to take that one out too. So now I was 2 surgeries in, out a ton of money, and I was no closer to my goal weight. Like, no matter what I did, I wasn't going to win this fight with my body. By the way, they don't do lap bands much anymore, thank God, because they are absolute trash. Now, the third surgery was about 6 or 7 years ago. I was perusing my benefits at work and I saw that my insurance covered gastric bypass surgery. And at the time, I was 280 pounds and I needed some help. So this was it. This was going to be my last straw. This was going to be my last ditch effort. If this didn't work, I was done. And in terms of weight loss, the surgery did work. The thing is that it didn't fix what was going on in my head. Because here's the thing, losing weight doesn't magically make you love yourself. It doesn't erase years of hating your body or hating who you are. I also want to mention that I didn't just choose surgery lightly, right? It was never my first option. I wasn't seeking the easy way out. I was absolutely brutal to my body in so many other ways. Harsh diets, starving myself, obsessive workouts where I physically hurt my body just trying to lose a few pounds. I tried every diet, every exercise. I pushed my body hard, and really all I got was a pile of exhaustion and self-hate. Losing weight doesn't magically fix your relationship with food. For years, food wasn't just food for me. It was a way to cope, a way to feel better. Whether I was stressed, sad, bored, whatever, food was always there. It was my little buddy. But it was never the real problem. The real problem was how I felt about myself. Food isn't just fuel. I hear people say that a lot. Food is fuel, food is fuel. No, it's a lot in our society. It's comfort. It's a coping mechanism. It's a crutch. We use it to numb ourselves, to celebrate, to grieve. And when you've spent years, or in my case, an entire lifetime, using food as an emotional buffer, losing weight doesn't magically change that. Weight loss surgery doesn't rewire your brain. Now, I did eventually get to my goal weight. It was awesome having that body for the short time that I had it because menopause came and the skies opened and the storms came down and menopause. God, everything went out the window. I remember stepping on the scale one day and thinking, this can't be right. This can't be right. What's going on? I haven't changed anything. But suddenly my clothes didn't fit. The weight was creeping back on. And all in all, I regained about 50 pounds like within 4 months. I had to realize that no matter how much I tried to fix my body, there were just going to be some things, like menopause, that I just can't control. And that was one of the hardest lessons for me to accept. I mean, I thought I had done everything right, and yet my body still didn't play by the rules. I felt very angry and betrayed by my body. So I still eat like a bird, right? I still do the things that I'm supposed to be doing. I don't eat sugar. I don't have fizzy drinks. I don't eat a lot of carbs. But I'm still a chunky monkey. And that's just the way that it is. This is why the body positivity movement is so important to me. But I also think that it's really misunderstood. People think that the body positivity movement is just a bunch of fat people saying that it's okay to be fat. But that's not what it is. It's about saying you're okay right now as you are. It's about accepting yourself whether you're fat, thin, or somewhere in between. It's about recognizing that your worth isn't tied to your weight. And yeah, if you want to make changes, cool, do it. But if you start from a place of hating yourself, no amount of weight loss is going to fix that. None. Now, I vowed that I would never be back in plus size clothing. And yet here I am. People plan, God laughs, right? Isn't that the saying? And here's another thing. I'm like healthy. Really, really healthy. I get a physical every year. I just actually got one last week and I got my blood work back and it's awesome. My cholesterol is just slightly high, but that's genetic and we control it through diet and exercise. Because heart disease runs in my family, I also had a heart test done and it came back absolutely perfect. The only health issues that I have are my mental health issues, and I have something called non-anemic iron deficiency thanks to the gastric bypass. Gift that keeps on giving. So when people equate weight with health, it's really not that simple. You can be bigger like me and still be totally healthy, or you can be thin and be absolutely unhealthy. It's not black and white. We've got to start changing the way that we feel and talk about our bodies and the way that we see ourselves, because if we don't, this shit's never going to end. When I think about all the ways food has controlled me and the guilt that I felt, I realize I'm not alone. So many of us are taught to hate our bodies and fear food from a young age, and it follows us into adulthood. As a society, we're constantly being told two things: indulge and diet. It's no wonder our relationship with food is so toxic. Now, I'm not here to tell you that you have to love every inch of yourself every day, because I am absolutely still working on that. But I've gotten a lot better. I feel pretty sexy with these curves. I feel pretty confident with these curves. I don't think that people are looking at me and laughing at me. And you know what? If they are, who the hell cares? Will I ever love my body? Probably not. Will I accept it? Absolutely. Will I appreciate what it does for me? You bet. But loving it is a different story. I think that we all need to accept who we are right now at this moment. Accept who you are, whether you want to lose weight or not. Progress, not perfection. Look, if my 75-year-old mother-in-law is just now letting go of her body issues, what the hell are we doing? Do I really want to wait until I'm 75 to feel okay with myself? Do you? Do you? Do we really want to waste years, decades, just waiting to be okay? I don't. I don't. And I don't want anyone else to either. I don't want you to. No way. No way. The goal isn't perfection. It's finding peace with who we are, flaws and all. It's addressing our relationship with food and honestly giving ourselves a freaking break. Acceptance isn't a destination. It's absolutely a process, and it starts right now. So what about you? What would change if you accepted who you are right now? If you start today, if you start right now, what would that mean to you? What would that mean to stop carrying all that baggage and start living? Thanks so much for spending time with me on this topic today. I know this isn't easy stuff, and if you're here, it means that you're likely grappling with some of it too. Remember, you're not alone in feeling this way in any way, shape, or form. So many of us are caught in the same struggle with body image and self-acceptance. And it's not about magically fixing everything overnight. It's about learning to make peace with where we are right now. If anything resonated, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's something that you would tell your younger self about body image or self-worth? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to get a conversation started. Let's keep supporting each other as we navigate this messy, beautiful journey of self-acceptance. I'll see you in the next video.